Monkey branching is one of the most painful experiences you can ever go through. For those of you who have woken up and come to find that not only has your partner left you, but the entire time they have lined up a replacement and entered a relationship with them, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This experience is soul-crushing, to say the least. Throughout this video, I am going to teach you the 3 types of people that monkey branches target. For those of you who don't know, my name is Christian and I'm the creator of Relearning Relationships. I've been on YouTube for 3 years. In this time, I have received well over 200 to 300 case studies of men and women across the world of all ages, all races, all cultures who have been victims of serial cheaters. And from studying all of these cases, I have come to find that there is a pattern, not only in those who are on the receiving end of this betrayal, but within the monkey branches themselves. So there is a lot to learn from these monsters, and I'm going to teach you this in today's video. I want to make this very clear. Monkey branching is deliberate, intentional, and premeditated. This is not an accident or a one-time thing. Those who line up a replacement do it consciously. They plan around your schedule. They go behind your back. They are completely aware of what they are doing. This is why when you find out, it is so painful. Now, let's break this down. What are the 3 types of people that monkey branches target? Again, they are very cunning, they're calculated. But if they are deciding to swing from your branch to a new one, they need to make sure, at least in their deluded mind, that that branch is going to be stable, at least for the time being, whilst they also prepare another one. The first type of person that a monkey brancher will attempt to enter a relationship with is an unfaithful person. Yes. Now, this is a minority of the cases. However, one of the 3 people that they get involved with are cheaters, just like them. You see, a monkey brancher doesn't actually care about the relationship. They are empty. They are void of any love. So all they want is just to have a superficial, transactional relationship that gives them something that they can latch onto while they look for other means of attention and external sources of validation. They don't care about the commitment. They don't care about the monogamy. They don't care about building a family or a life. They're leeches, meaning they will take anyone who will come their way. And one of the types of people who will ever engage in a commitment with them is going to be those that are just like them, okay? Like attracts like. And that is one thing I've observed. It does happen from time to time. So let's say somebody is a cheater. They themselves have betrayed their partner multiple times. Or they have a track record of jumping from relationship to relationship whilst lining up a replacement each time. So they are monkey branches too. It goes without saying that this type of person doesn't value loyalty, doesn't value monogamy either. So they're in the same boat as the other monkey brancher. So when they are in the process of lining up a replacement, one of the types of people who are going to take them seriously are those who are just like them. So when a cheater themselves goes out to look for someone else and they come across someone who tells them the same sob story, yeah, I'm leaving my girlfriend or I'm leaving my husband, for the men and women listening, whoever it is that they're dating or in a commitment with, they'll tell them the same story. They both leave their partners and then they both enter a relationship. And of course, that never ends well because eventually one is going to do it to the other. Or they both do it to each other. That's what happens there. So that is the first type of person that a monkey brancher will target. Somebody who's just like them. And in this case, they deserve each other. The second type of person that a monkey brancher targets or looks to enter a relationship with is people with very low self-esteem. Now, this tends to be, in most cases from what I've seen, this is the standard. When somebody has low self-esteem, they are in a vulnerable place. When somebody doesn't feel good about themselves, they have poor standards. They have poor emotional intelligence. They don't know how to read people. They tend to be very gullible. They trust blindly. And they're just happy to have someone in their life. These tend to be those who came from a very toxic household. They grew up in a very broken home, a bad environment. They have a lot of unresolved trauma or difficulties bonding healthily. So they can't distinguish between loyal people and unfaithful people. They're just happy that someone wants to be with them. So they're going to take anything that comes their way because they have low self-esteem. Okay, ultimately they have poor standards. So when you're out and about and you meet someone, if you have low self-esteem, and let's say you're a guy listening, and a beautiful woman, you meet her, she starts seducing you, and then she gives you the sob story of how her boyfriend or husband is abusive, things aren't going well, she's not happy in her relationship, but she really likes you. Don't worry, that thing's over now, I want to be with you. If you have very low self-esteem, you're just going to be enamored by her beauty. And you're just going to give her a free pass and think, oh, I'll be different. She won't betray me. That's just a one-time thing she did with him. And that's when monkey branches go for people that have low self-esteem. Because these are going to be most of the people that will fall for it. If I were to meet a woman and she tells me I've got a boyfriend or a husband, I'm immediately turning away and running. Because it's none of my business. I'm not going to weaken my character by involving myself with such a person. That is immoral, disgusting. What did Jesus say? Do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. Why would I want to be with someone who's willing to do that when I would never do that to someone I love? Common sense. Now, same thing with people who are faithful. If you are loyal, you have a loyal heart, you value commitment, you value faithfulness, and you meet someone and they give you the sob story that they're going to leave their partner to be with you, you're going to walk away because you know how that story ends. Remember, if they'll do it to them, they'll do it to you. You are no exception because their behavior is not about you, it is about them. It has always been about them. You were just on the receiving end. So remember, this is the majority of the cases. If you have low self-esteem, you have a lot of unhealed wounds, interpersonal issues. You don't know how to relate to people. Very codependent, very needy. You are going to fall into this category. And from most of the cases I've had, it's been people like this who have low self-esteem. Okay? Now, I want to make this clear. For those of you who want to learn more about monkey branching, on my channel I have hundreds of cases. Unfortunately, I have many more cases that some of my clients do not let me share because it's private and they don't want me to. But those who have been brave enough to consent and share their stories, I have on the channel so that you can learn from it. Okay, you're not alone. Other people have been through this too. So again, if you have low self-esteem and you are in a vulnerable place in your life, you may be at risk to just take whatever comes your way without giving that individual a background check. Because when someone has very low self-esteem, again from trauma and interpersonal issues, they tend to have a very fractured identity. They themselves tend to seek attention because they're just not at a place in their life where they're happy, they're not complete. They don't have God. They don't have good people around them. Okay? They have so many problems that to just have someone in your life, they convince themselves that it's going to alleviate their misery or the issues they have. When at the end of the day, if you are not someone who has prepared for a relationship, that relationship is just simply not going to work out, and it increases the odds of you involving yourself with the wrong person, which is what happens to those with low self-esteem, hence why most of them end up being victims to serial cheaters, to monkey branches, who weed out these gullible individuals who they know are in a vulnerable state. It's like what scammers do. They target people that don't know much about business, and then they swoop in and they steal your money, right? So you got to understand, when you have low self-esteem, you're putting yourself at risk. You're not going to give them a background check. Meaning, even if they tell you to your face, I'm married, I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, okay, for the ladies listening, okay, because it happens a lot to women too. They get betrayed as well. I know most of my viewers are men, but around 30% are women. Women get betrayed too. So even if they look at you in the eyes and say, yeah, I'm married or I'm taken, but I'm going to leave my partner. Don't worry, that I don't care about them anymore. They're bad to me. Things aren't working out. You're just going to believe it. And you're just going to turn a blind eye to it because it's better than being alone. What is worse is this happens too. Because they know you've got such low self-esteem, they are worried that in some cases you might flinch or you might feel uncomfortable. So they will never even tell you that they're currently in a relationship or in a marriage. What they will simply do is they will exit that relationship as they're getting to know you. And once they form a quote unquote solid connection on your end, because of course they don't form bonds, once they make sure that you're roped in, then they swing to you and leave their now ex-partner in the dust. So what happens is you end up finding out later. Maybe you're on social media. Things don't seem to add up. Maybe that ex, in a moment of anger or vengeance, realizes they've been monkey branched on. And then they kind of find a way to reach out to you and ask you, how did you know about this? You're scum. And then you end up sitting there going, oh, I didn't know she was taken. And then they realize, oh, wow, she pulled the plug on you too. And by the time you figure this out, boom, she's out the door with somebody else. And you're left just like the string of all the other previous partners with a broken heart. And this is what tends to happen in most cases. So sometimes you may not even know, which is why you got to ask questions. Are you single? When was the last time you had a relationship? If you had a last relationship, have you healed from it? And then you look for the pattern in their behavior. Is it true or not? Do the words and actions match? Because sometimes a monkey branch is going to be smart. And they will tell you, oh, no, I don't have a partner. I've been single the whole time. And then you see inconsistency, right? They don't show up on time. They don't respond to your messages. They disappear for a few days because they're actually still in a relationship. And they're just kind of figuring you out. Are you the type of person that's going to freak out if you find out they're in a commitment? Or is your self-esteem so low that if you do find out, you're just happy to have someone, you don't even care? So they need to figure these things out too. This is why I'm telling you it's premeditated. It's never, an accident. They didn't know what they were doing. It's sickening. But this is what they do. This is how careful they are, because the thing is about cheaters is they don't like getting caught because it reveals who they are. It makes the mask slip. Okay? And they don't like that. Right? They never feel bad for what they do. They keep doing it. So understand, this is what tends to happen in most cases. So let's continue on with the third type of person that a monkey brancher targets, which is lustful people. When somebody has no control over their sexual urges, as a byproduct of this, they have no standards. When a man or a woman becomes desensitized to the value of intimacy from too much pleasure, from living a lifestyle of hooking up and sleeping around, or a life of self-pleasure and seeking content online to satisfy their needs, what happens is they end up seeing members of the opposite sex as an object of their lust, not someone to love. Because remember, lust is focused on itself, it is selfish, whereas love is selfless. And when somebody is lustful and they're in a hungry state, they are like an addict. They don't care who they take from, who they steal from, where they get the money. Just give me it, I need a hit. And that's how lustful people behave. So when somebody is in a lustful state, they are easily manipulated. They don't care about red flags. They don't care about, am I compatible or not? Could we be great to build a relationship? No, they just care about what they're feeling right now. They don't even care about the person. They just care about themselves. Am I going to satisfy my own flesh? Do I get to use them as, a glorified masturbation? That's all they care about. Therefore, they do not see an issue with these things and immediately turn a blind eye. And monkey branchers know this all too well. Remember, most people who monkey branch are narcissistic. Okay? They have the Jezebel spirit. It's demonic. It's satanic. It's evil. Right? This is pure manipulation. And controlling others is a form of occultism, it's witchcraft. The Bible prohibits it because you're infringing on someone's freedom. It's wrong, it's immoral. And what is wicked about these monsters is they will take advantage of those who are lustful. A lot of lustful men fall victim to women who are willing to monkey branch on their partner, because these guys are so starving for a drop of intimacy that even if she tells them, yeah, listen, I've cheated on my boyfriends, and by the way, the guy I'm with right now, I'm going to cheat on him with you. They don't care. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Just let's be together. Fast forward to the future, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, even 5 to 10 years, they'll be in a relationship. Next thing you know, you wake up one day, and just like that, they find out that the entire time, or at some point, their partner has swung to another branch and leaves them in the dust. And then they go and complain. Then they cry about, how could this happen? I didn't see it coming, because they were blinded by their lust. Whereas if they had enough self-control, they would have seen the early warning signs from the beginning that they left their partner to be with you. They were already a cheater from day one. They've been getting good at this. You were just the next victim. And it's heartbreaking to see that some men and women, unfortunately, turn a blind eye to these early warning signs and then marry such individuals. Because remember, the monkey brancher doesn't care. A monkey brancher could have 3, 4, 5 kids with you, house, mortgage, everything. It doesn't matter. Even your family, they don't even love the children. They're just there because it's better than being alone, being bored. Because that's how they see people, as toys they pick up and put down. And when there's another shiny object, they run off to that. Okay? And they're very cunning. They're very selective with the victims they choose. And sometimes they don't find another suitable branch for a long time. So they will stay with you for the time being. It's not because they love you or they care. It's because it's better than nothing. Okay? So you need to be very careful. So all in all, those are the 3 types of people that will ever fall victim to the early warning signs of a monkey brancher. These are the people that serial cheaters target. Let me repeat one more time. Unfaithful people who also monkey branch, people with low self-esteem who don't know any better, and finally, lustful people who turn a blind eye. This is what I have learned from working with clients over the last 3 years who have been in these very unfortunate situations. If this video has been of value to you and you've learned something and you're new, feel free to hit the subscribe button and check out the channel. I have many cases from men and women about monkey branching so that you can learn from what they went through to make certain that this doesn't happen to you in the future. There's always something we can learn from others. And this is why we're here, to help each other, to grow, to build better lives, healthier relationships. Okay? So with that said, hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless all of you and your families.